I had plans, like actual, real, concrete plans. Not one day I'll get around to it plans. I got a great new job, wedding date set, apartment about to be signed, budget spreadsheet color-coded, the whole thing. For the first time in a while, things were clicking, and then the world decided to catch fire. Again. And now I'm sitting here, recalculating whether I should be planning for my long-term future or planning an exit route. And the thing that keeps eating at me isn't the fear itself. It's the fact that somewhere in some room I'll never see, a handful of people made decisions that put my entire life and yours and millions of others on hold, and they will never, ever know my name. And they do not care. That's what I want to talk about today, not the politics. I want to talk about what happens to you, to your brain, your motivation, your sense of self, when the world takes your agency and snaps it in half, and what you're supposed to do when the scroll won't stop and your life won't start. You know that feeling when something big happens and your body just sort of stops? You're not panicking, not crying. You're not doing anything really. You're just sitting there scrolling, refreshing, like you're waiting for someone to tell you what to feel. There's a name for that in psychology. It's called the freeze response. And people don't talk about it enough because it doesn't look dramatic. Fight is obvious. Flight is obvious. Freeze just looks like someone on their couch at 2 a.m. with dead eyes and 20 open tabs. But here's what's actually happening in your body. Your nervous system has detected a threat it can't fight and can't run from. A war halfway across the world or right next door doesn't give you a clear action. There's no door to run through. There's no person to confront. The threat is everywhere and nowhere and on every screen you own. So your brain does what any overwhelmed system does. It locks up, shuts down the planning centers, puts your goals on ice, and redirects all your energy toward one task: monitoring. That's why you can't stop scrolling. It's not a discipline problem. Your nervous system has literally reassigned your brain from build your future to scan for danger. And your phone is the most efficient danger scanning device ever built. Infinite threat detection, 24/7. Served to you between AI-generated slop and memes. And the sick part is, the monitoring never resolves anything. You never reach the bottom of the feed and go, okay, I've gathered enough information. I now know exactly what's going to happen, and I can relax. That moment doesn't come. The scroll is designed to never end. You are refreshing a page that will never finish loading, so you stay frozen. Not because you're lazy or you don't care about your goals, but because your brain has decided, without asking you, that survival mode is more important than your 2-year plan right now. And meanwhile, your projects are still unfinished. Your emails are still unanswered. And you're losing days, not to grief, not to action, to limbo. Can we talk about how absolutely insane the information landscape is right now? Like genuinely. I saw a news clip about a president threatening a whole nation, real people, real destruction, and 4 posts later, someone had turned it into a meme with a trendy sound effect, and I caught myself almost laughing before my brain went, wait, people will lose their lives. What is that? What are we doing? It's your brain trying to categorize the threat level and failing. Because the same feed that shows you a journalist reporting from rubble also shows you someone joking about it. And your brain goes, is this serious? Is this entertainment? Am I supposed to be scared or amused? Do I panic? Do I share? Do I keep scrolling? And because it can't figure out the right emotional response, it picks the easiest one: nothing. You go numb, you dissociate. Your eyes are moving, but you're not really processing anymore. You're just feeding. There's a term for this. It's called psychic numbing, and it was studied long before social media, originally in the context of how people respond to large-scale suffering. The finding was brutal. The more people affected, the less you feel. One person dying is a tragedy you can hold in your chest. 100,000 is a statistic you scroll past. Your brain literally cannot scale empathy to match the size of what's happening, so it stops trying. And social media made this 1,000 times worse, because it doesn't just show you the suffering. It shows you the suffering mixed with reactions to the suffering, mixed with memes about the reactions, mixed with someone selling you a course on how to stay positive during hard times. Everything is flattened to the same format. Same screen size, same scroll speed, same thumb motion. A genocide and a gym bro occupy the exact same real estate on your phone. And after an hour of this, your brain is just cooked. You don't know what you feel. You don't know what matters. You're not informed. You're overloaded. And there's a massive difference between those two things. Being informed means, I know what's happening. I've assessed the risk to me and the people I love, and I'm making decisions based on that. Being overloaded means, I've consumed 12 hours of content about what's happening and I still don't know what to do. And now I feel guilty for wanting to go back to my normal life. Most people think they're doing the first one, while they're stuck doing the second one, and being overloaded is rotting them from the inside. If this hits home, like and share it. If you want more, subscribe. I don't have a Patreon or a merch line, just a notification bell that apparently does something. Here's the part that makes me really angry and frustrated. The people making the decisions that put your life on hold, they're not thinking about you, obviously. But I mean that in a deeper way than it sounds. They're not thinking about the guy who just got his first good job in 3 years. They're not thinking about the woman who saved for 18 months to pay her debt. They're not thinking about the student who was about to graduate, or the family who just signed a lease, or the freelancer who finally landed their first client. Your life, with all its specific, hard-earned personal momentum, it doesn't exist in their calculations. You are not a variable. You are not a consideration. You are background noise to a decision made in a room you'll never enter. And you can't even be angry about it in a useful way, because who do you direct it at? It's not one person. It's systems and alliances and interests that have been stacking for decades. You can't fight it. You can't petition it. You can't even fully understand it. So what happens? You internalize it. It becomes this low-grade helplessness that sits in your stomach all day, this feeling that your plans don't matter, that building anything is pointless because someone with more power can just come along and tip the table. And that's the real rot, in my opinion. Not the news, not the memes. The rot is the slow, quiet abandonment of your own agency. The moment you stop planning because what's the point? The moment you stop building because everything could change tomorrow. The moment you let the uncertainty win, not in a dramatic way, in a boring, daily, nothing way. Just not starting, not continuing, not caring quite as much. That's what they take from you if you let them. Not only your safety, but your momentum. All right, I've been sitting with this for weeks, and I'm not going to pretend I've got it figured out. I don't, but I've landed on a few things that have helped me stop leaking days. The scroll is not keeping you safe. I had to actually say that to myself out loud for it to land. Checking the news 14 times a day is not a survival strategy. It's a compulsion wearing a responsibility costume. You don't need more information. You need a decision. Are you staying or leaving? Are you continuing the plan or adjusting it? Pick one. Refreshing the feed is not a decision. It's avoidance dressed up as due diligence. Set a window, then shut it. I give myself 20 minutes in the afternoon, not mornings. I check what's happening. I assess if anything has materially changed, not if someone posted a scary thread. If my actual safety situation hasn't changed, the phone goes face down and I go do something that matters. Is this easy? No. Some days I pick the phone back up 4 more times. But the intention matters. The attempt to reclaim the day matters. Protect your plans aggressively. This one took me a while. I kept catching myself mentally shelving things, putting the important stuff on hold, deprioritizing work projects, not because of a real, concrete threat, but because of a vibe. A general sense of things are bad, so I shouldn't plan ahead. That vibe is the rot. Push through it. Plan anyway. Build anyway. If you need to adjust later, adjust later. But don't pre-cancel your own life, because the world is unstable. The world has been unstable your entire life. You just have a front row seat to it now because of that thing in your pocket. Separate what you can control from what you can't. Not as a nice idea. Sit down and split your worries into 2 columns. One column, things you can physically act on today. The other, things you can do absolutely nothing about. Then you have to consciously, deliberately stop spending energy on column 2. Not because it doesn't matter, because your energy there changes nothing. And your energy in column 1 changes everything. I want to be honest about something. I almost didn't make this video because part of me felt like it was pointless. Like, who am I to talk about this when people are actually losing their lives, their homes, everything? What's my stress compared to that? But that's the trap too. The guilt spiral, the I shouldn't complain because someone has it worse. Yeah, someone always has it worse. That doesn't mean your stalled life and your frozen plans and your slow drift into apathy don't matter. They do. Because if everyone who isn't directly in the blast zone just gives up and goes numb, then the people in power win twice. They get the war, and they get a generation that stopped building. Don't give them that. Your plans matter. Your momentum matters. The relationships, the job, the projects, and the thing you were excited about 3 weeks ago before the feed got into your head, that stuff is yours. And no one in any room of power, anywhere on this planet, is going to protect it for you. That's on you. So grieve what needs grieving, feel what needs feeling, and then close the tab and get back to your life. Because it's the only one you've got, and it's still happening whether you participate or not. I'm the Unrot. Thanks for lending me your attention in a world that's fighting to take it from you. I'll catch you in the next one.